Got a talk coming up on Southern Railway. So what I think is actually most interesting about Northeast Georgia, and I'm going to basically define this as the corridor along Interstate 85 above I-20. It's probably not the exact definition of Northeast Georgia, but I think if we look at it from a railroad perspective, if you were to go back to the years before the Civil War, there were no railroads. The closest would have been a spur on the Georgia Railroad that ran to Athens, Georgia, that opened in about 1841. But aside from that, there were no railroads in Northeast Georgia. But this dearth of railroads in the region wasn't due to any lack of conversation. There was plenty of conversation in the 1850s about a railroad. It just didn't happen. And certainly they weren't going to build railroads during the Civil War. So in the antebellum years, there was conversation. In the postbellum years, there was some action. And what you saw is basically, we could say, two main railroads. You've got what is now a CSX transportation line that runs through cities like Lawrenceville and Winder and Athens. And then you have what's today a Norfolk Southern line that runs through cities like Gainesville, Toccoa. And that's the line I'm most interested in, because for this talk I have coming up on Saturday in Dunwoody, Georgia, we're looking at the Southern Railway and the offshoots of the Southern Railway that were empowered. I think you could say empowered. I think that's a good way to put it. They were empowered by the building of what effectively became the Southern Railway in 1894. It was the Richmond and Danville Railroad before that. And I think this is going to be an interesting way to look at what a behemoth like the Southern Railway, how it came to be. And I think what we can say is it came to be through a bunch of smaller railroads that were pieced together to make one giant railroad. I hope this is interesting, and I hope to see you on Saturday.